Hello everyone, this here is the LEGO Icons Botanical Collection Wildflower Bouquet set. It comes with 939 pieces, and I built it in 2 live stream sessions, split between the JANG channel on YouTube and over on my Twitch channel. This cost me $60, 60 US, and you can find the product tagged on the video. Now, something very, very important for me to note right up front is that the vase is not included. So in a couple minutes here, I'm going to have to undo almost all of the stuff that makes this look so good as an entire bouquet, as an entire arrangement, and show you just what you actually get with the set. But for right now, since I did just do a very, very quick arrangement, I just want to give you an idea of the total bulk of flowers that you get here and kind of what we're working with. In total, there are many ways that you can set this up that will look absolutely beautiful. But as is the case with any of the LEGO loose flower sets that they have made or will make, LEGO flowers are extra heavy. They're very, very top heavy. So when you choose a vase, you're going to need to be a little bit more careful than you would with plastic flowers or real flowers. You need something that is very heavy at the base. If it's not heavy, you're going to need to put some heavy medium down there. And you need to really be able to control the positions of the stalks. Otherwise, they can rotate very easily. Now, this is really, really compressed together right now, but typically they're able, I mean, you just saw that one just started to move on its own right there. This is really, really compressed, but typically if they're not super compressed with a nice narrow neck like this, you will have them just kind of doing their own thing all over the place. And heavens forbid if you pick it up to dust on a desk or something, and you put it back, the exact arrangement is going to be messed up. So think about vases a lot more than you normally would. That said, this is what you actually build with this set. This is what you actually get, just building it according to the instructions with the parts included in the box. In my opinion, each of the stalks has some really, really nice stuff going on with it, and I'll show you each of these up close. But taking this spread here and turning that into one thing, one arrangement, is entirely up to you and does involve you needing to provide something beyond what is just included in the box, perhaps even multiple things. To look at details, I'm going to start with these lupins, and the flower heads themselves are identical in their build, so we only need to look at one of these, but one of them does have an extra length of Technic connector added to the end, just so that there's a little bit of difference in the height if you put it in by default without doing any adjustment. Each of the flowers in this set, not including the greens, but the flowers, have the longest, one of the longest Technic axle piece in just a plain green, not a bright green, not a dark green, just a plain green. So that's a commonality you'll see between all of these. Obviously, there are a whole bunch of pirate captain hats used here, which are a perfect shape. You get them in the dark purple and you get them in the magenta, or is it dark magenta, do they call it? It's the darkest of the magenta colors that LEGO makes. You got white used to the inside of there, and up at the top, well, you got little bits of the lime green in there as well. Just a tiny bit of bright green, and then some of the bright spring green color used up here at the top for the flowers that have not opened yet. This is pretty perfect to me. It looks very, very realistic. I've seen these flowers in their wild natural environments countless times, and as a kid, I've actually cultivated them as well, like, more domesticated variants of them that still look very similar. This is just really, really good stuff. I love it. Another spiky inflorescence included in a pair in this set is this lavender. So again, these two are identical in their builds, and in this case, the stems have the exact same length, but you can adjust those with the extra pieces included, to make some of them shorter, some of them longer. This is a much simpler build. The closer you get to it, probably the slightly less believable it looks, especially with the top, with the lighter color of lavender minifig head used up there. And then the transition down into the gold stud below that. But the flowers themselves along the sides, I think, look pretty good from most distances. I mean, we're looking at this really, really close. But as soon as I do this and don't look at it too carefully, now, see, that works much better. As soon as I'm not seeing that transition right in here. So maybe with some of these top ones, you might want to just angle the petals up slightly. Are they petals or sepals on this one? I don't remember. Tepals, I don't remember. But yeah, the more you can cover that up, I think the better this looks. Just a tiny bit of adjustment. These are not bad. Next up, specifically, these are intended to be Welsh poppies. These are just about as perfect as Lego could possibly make them without additionally printing some of the pieces. The level of detail there is just phenomenal. It's practically a cheat. Like, these parts are almost made to create this flower here. That is a wheel insert intended to create a wire mesh, like an old racing BBS style wheel insert, but it's been recolored into this cool yellow or light yellow color. The cone in the middle there is a bright spring green, and then you just have these yellow colored armor pieces around here, which is the newer style of part, not the original Hero Factory and creature and character building system, character and creature building system, large action figure shoulder pauldron pieces, but rather the newer one that is slightly tighter in its curvature and has the bar at the base. These are great. I mean, you can actually close these up a little bit if you want one of these flowers to look like it's not quite opened just yet, so you can just adjust that a little bit, make it look a little bit more freshly cut and in the morning or something like that. But yeah, this is such a simple build. So simple, but super effective and obviously large and bright. In stark contrast, check out these cornflowers, or the blue ones in the US are often referred to as Bachelor's Buttons, or at least used to be. Two of these are identical. Obviously, one of them is different. I'll take one of the identical ones away. These are interesting. It's difficult to make this flower in Lego form. I think from the side, it's not looking quite right, but you look at it from the top and you get it. There are some varieties of Bachelor's Button that look more like that. A lot of them have more florets than that, a lot more florets. So, they look much more bushy than this. It's really interesting design of a flower just in the plant world in general. It's interesting how they came about etymologically. But I think that the Lego design here does capture the look of some of them well. And the colors are really good. What I don't like here is that these inner stalk pieces, the little flower stalk pieces here, used for minifig scale flowers, are super loose. That's concerning a little bit. They're not going to fall out. There's a ridge down there that's going to hold them from coming all the way out, but just the fact that it's loose didn't feel that great. The build here is really nice though. I used some good small pieces to really good effect. Got the one that's not fully, wait, is this, I forget, is this not fully opened or is this already done? No, this is not fully opened yet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't remember if I ever actually grew them. The color combination here has mostly bright green on the stem and the leaves, and a little bit of just regular green. This white one stands out differently. Same overall build for the flower itself, or the compound flower head, but looks significantly different to me. Just the colors, the blue here really pops, and the recolors I think are interesting. All right, sorry I spent so much time on the Bachelor's Buttons or the cornflower. These are, they call them cow parsley for this set. You call it cow parsnip. It's a member of the carrot family and can be used as a substitute for something like baby's breath. But these are pretty dang toxic in many cases. You do not want anybody to be eating them. They will give you upset stomach, but it's all good. It's just for the sake of looks. And I think that these represent some varieties. It's a very broad family. It has all sorts of different, minutely different shapes of flower heads, but this definitely captures some of them, I believe. The stalks here are extra thick, which is different, but look, it's just all of these pieces. Lots and lots of segments, so you can easily take some of these off and add them to other flowers, and it really gives you more options in the box with just the pieces included for some customization for your arrangements. These are simple builds, but they are effective for what they represent. These two beauties are Gerbera Daisies, and they're right. The build of them is correct. Maybe there could have been a little bit more fuzzy texture for the centers in here, but I'm not sure exactly what parts they could have used for that. These take a little while to put together. There's a little bit of tedium involved in just putting the oar piece on each of the Exoforce hands there, one by one. What was it? 24 in total per flower head. But it works. These are very similar builds to the sunflowers that Lego released in just a pair individually as a little set. They have larger buds underneath, made with the old open barrel pieces, which work here in the green color. These again have just the long stalks. One of them is designed to be a little bit longer, but again, you can easily adjust that. Overall, these look good. There's a little bit of tedium involved with them, and these individual tepals, or are they I forget, are they petals? I think they're tepals on this. For each of the radio flowers, they can just be moved around. Most of them can be moved significantly, so getting this to look just right, takes a little bit of doing, and then once it's done, it's very easy to accidentally knock some of those out. Dang it, get in there. So when you're doing arrangements with these in there, that's just something to keep in mind, that there may be a little bit of back and forth involved. The instructions, I was happy to see, does recommend that you put the radio floral bits on randomly, left and right, not to line them all up. In my opinion, I have saved the best for last. This impresses me as a Lego build, how it's built and how good it looks as a sprig of Larkspur. Everything about this, especially the colors, but also the proportions, the placements. And again, like I said, the build process itself as a Lego thing. The small pieces that are used here, the colors, the bright green is perfect. I've been very iffy on bright green in general, but here this looks so fresh. I almost want to just bite into it, even though you probably don't want to eat Larkspur. I just want to feel how crispy it is as a vegetable. It's vibrant in that kind of vegetative way to me. Those are hot dog pieces in bright green. That's kind of brilliant. I love that those are available to us now, and they use these reusable flowers, plant stem pieces that are good for different scales to good effect here. The flowers themselves are simple with their double style. I don't remember exactly if these are sepals down here and then these are petals, or if it's all petals and they're actually double. I don't remember exactly, but all that stuff is good. It's another simple build, but the colors are fantastic. The overall shaping is as close to right as you could ask for in Lego form, probably even closer. This is just a masterclass. The only thing I don't like here is that little bit of yellow that we see. Dang it, why did that have to be yellow? I mean, this is a case where we're just putting that in. Don't they have the gray version of that? Is it gray or black in this? Whatever is necessary to not show that little bit of yellow would help this to be perfect. Even the little bit of greenery down here, you got a little bit of gray standing up there, but those are good pieces. You can kind of hide that a little bit by offsetting this slightly so you don't see it quite as much, but even that works for me. I like how tight it is around the base here. This is definitely what I like the most as a Lego thing, as a set of flowers. Enough with the flowers though. These are some greens for you. It's important to have some greens for a good arrangement. 3 identical sprigs of what they call leatherback fern. Looks like it's trying to be a fern. These horizontal bars are a little bit too visible. There are actually little bits of brown on these leaves in some versions of them that could represent, but it's just too straight and flat and obvious to me. Maybe bringing these angles out a little bit can help to, not really, not that much. No, those brown bits just really break the immersion for me. If you can kind of hide them away, if you can get it like this, it needs more curvature so I can bring it around this way and have it hanging down. But these are intended to actually stand up a little bit. And yeah, also these bits down here stand. Now you can change this angle. That's nice. But the dark green color for this is the smaller of the 2 versions of the classic palm tree pieces, for folks who remember that from back in the day. There were 2 sizes, one this big, one just a little bit longer. Right, so this is the smaller of those, but the first time we've gotten them in dark green, which is fantastic. Again, yes, all the dark greens, all the greens for all the parts that can be used to represent greens, in my opinion. Thank you very much. Yes, let's go. More. As expected, the spare part selection for this set is a veritable miniature treasure trove of nice colors and useful parts. But again, what did I just say a minute ago? More. I want more of just about all of this stuff. I figured everyone would be interested in seeing a comparison between the Wildflower Bouquet and the original Flower Bouquet. Unfortunately, I don't have equivalent vases for the two to put them both into. So it's not the most fair comparison. This is more wide, it's more spread out, but as a result, don't want to move it around too much. This one's a lot more compacted in this form here, but I can do this. Actually angle it towards you. Definitely base selection is paramount with these things. Between the two though, I personally definitely like this better. It's able to take advantage of many more recolored pieces and some newer pieces that didn't exist when this was designed. So it's not entirely fair, but for me, this wins hands down. It's more colorful. It's more vibrant in general. I think there's more that you can do with it. It has more recognizable shapes in it and colors. And it's better as a parts package, just better in every way, to me personally. It doesn't mean that it's objectively better. It's just I like it better, including even the greens here. But the good thing is that I'm really happy about, I think these two can be mixed together, because while this one has more vibrant tones in it, this still has some. And I feel like the somewhat more muted tones in this, especially with the flowers, are still compatible with what you see over here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to pop this out real quick and just put it next to this just to kind of make my point there. See, this still works. So this is the worst. You know, this is the least vibrant of the flowers over here, really. And it still is going to work just fine. I think that these two can be mixed. As a matter of fact, Lego itself suggests that you try that if you have the two of them. I think it's a good suggestion. As for the price of $60 US for the new one, 60 euros, 55 pounds UK. If you look at the price to part ratio, it's like, wow, that's awesome. But of course, so many of the pieces are tiny. I think for the total amount of stuff here and the building experience that's involved and how long this can last, you know, the extended value over time that you get from this, I think all of that is pretty good. I'm actually not really going to complain about price and value on this one. I could, you know, for the amount of plastic that's here, but no, it's actually not bad. And definitely this is the type of subject matter that you can keep for a very, very, very long time. And even once some of the colors start to yellow and everything, it's still going to be okay. It's still going to be presentable, I think. And yeah, I mean, these sure last a whole lot longer than a real flower bouquet. And not everybody has all the time in the world to be refreshing flowers all the time. So for the vast majority of folks who are doing a lot of things throughout their life, this is just a better way to have colorful stuff in your space. It's not going to replace the real thing for many people, but for a lot of people, I actually think it will. This is a very good product here in many, many ways, and I'm really, really happy with it. And it's just another reason that I'm so thankful that the Botanicals collection exists in the first place. They can go many, many places with that. It can last a long time. There's so much that can be done with it. You see how much variety we've already gotten from this series. I'm looking forward to more. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that this provided some value to you as well, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.